Hey guys, today we are going to try a little bit something different in rigging class. We've been doing a lot of character stuff and not a lot of hard surface stuff, so today I wanted to do a vehicle. So as you can see, I've been looking up coronavirus stuff. But let's go ahead and go to CAD Nav. Let's jump over here to CAD Nav, click on a model, then come over to search and put in Armored Military Truck 3D Model. And down at the bottom you'll see Armored Military Truck 3D Model. And we're going to come to this thing. It was pretty much a cool looking Jeep that I saw. It had a gun on it. And a lot of interesting little things that we can mess with here. Let's go ahead and download that. So that is a RAR file. Downloading here. As you can see, I've already downloaded it, took a look at it, make sure we could do it. And I'm just going to close out of my browser. And it comes to this file here, CAD Nav. I'm going to right click on it. And I've installed 7-zip. You can Google that, 7-zip, and install it. And I'm just going to do it to this random folder. Go into the random folder, and under models, here's the model. It's an OBJ. So I'm just going to copy the path here. Open up Maya. And I'll go File Open. I'm going to paste the path in and hit Enter on the keyboard. And, oh yeah, we're not going to open. This is an import. So File, Imports. And again, I've already done it, but I'll paste the path in and hit Enter. And there's right there, Armored Truck, double click. And let's open it up. So this thing's pretty cool. This is a little heavier than a game model I usually mess with, but to be honest with you, with newer engines and newer systems, this one looks like it's going to be about right. I think, and it said it was about 25-something thousand polygons, so this seems about right. A little excessive in places with polygons here. I don't know if we need to, like typically in games, like if I were to tap 4 on my keyboard, see how the barrel goes all the way through there? That's just wasted polygons that no one's going to see. So you'd want to cut that out, plus these bullets are just ridiculous. Anyway. Alright, let's get going here. So the first thing we want to do is put this thing into a position where you can actually rig it. Those wheels are a problem, so let's go ahead and fix those. You hold Alt on your keyboard and use your 3 mouse buttons, you can move around here. So what I'm going to do is zoom into the view here of the tire, right click and hold, and go to Vertex. And then I'm going to just drag a box over all these polygons here, make sure I'm grabbing something from each object. Hold Shift and then tap the comma symbol, or the period symbol or greater than symbol on your keyboard a bunch of times, and it will select all the vertices in that tire. So then I'm going to tap my space bar, go into my top view here, and then I'm going to tap E for rotate, and then the plus symbol on my keyboard a couple times to increase the rotator here. So I'm going to rotate this tire in place. And remember, when you're doing this sort of stuff, there's good and there's good enough. And as I rotate it, I'm using this grid line here as a guide to make sure that my tire's straight. So if you look at the spacing of this grid line here between the tire, and then you scale all the way down, or just move all the way down to the bottom of the tire, it looks like it continues straight, and it doesn't. It continues straight along that marker. So that's good. So let's do the same thing for the other tire. Again, there's good and there's good enough. I don't know if that tire's straight. In real life, tires they're not perfectly along. Drag the box, hold Shift, and click the period button, or if it might be different on your keyboard, it's the greater than symbol is what you want. Alright, tap the space bar again, go back into my top view, and I'll zoom in, and again I'll rotate this wheel. And this time around, there's not a marker in place really. So when there's not a marker in place, what you can do is you can slide Maya over to the right side. You slide whatever you're trying to measure to the straight edge of the toolbar here. And you can use that as a guide. You can use the tush, which is crazy, but I mean, it's kind of weird, but it works. So and that actually looks okay. Good enough. Might be a little wobbly, but that's okay. Such is life. All right, and then that door, we need to turn that door in. That should be a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do is just, see this? See my rotator is super huge? I'm going to click the minus symbol, just get it down a little bit, and then you tap T on your keyboard to get rid of the rotator. So I'll hold Shift and use my greater than symbol. But since these objects aren't part of the door, I'm going to have to select those individually and then do it again. Hold Shift. As you can see now, it gets those. Looks like those hinges are going to be a little bit of a problem. So let's get the hinge. Whoops. Hold Shift as you select new objects. Greater than symbol. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Let's undo. There we go. I tapped F to frame my thing, thing in the view here. So I don't think these need to rotate, so I'm going to hold Control and unselect them. Let's look over on the other side and see what kind of problems this is going to cause for us. Doesn't look like any. Okay, so let's rotate that. Tap E, and got a little bit of a problem here. The rotate pivot for this door is not where I want it. I want it on the hinge, so I'm going to try something crazy here. Let's try and find the insert key on your keyboard. It'll be INS. And I think me finding it last time was kind of crazy. I have this weird computer. Where is that? Oh. Okay, so let's try insert. Okay. So now let's move our rotator. Oh, all right. To that hinge. Actually, oh man, it's being weird. What's going on here? Okay. Right, so I'll just put it on the hinge here. Then I'll tap E again for rotate, and lo and behold, it allows me to rotate from that point. So let's rotate the door back in, and boom. Nice. Oh, got a problem there. We left some polygons. Just clicking Control Z there. That was weird. Looks like those were hidden down in there. What did I miss? I'm just gonna tap 4 so I can see in my wireframe here. It looks like there are some we missed in there, so I'm just going to hold Shift and select those, select those, select those. Whoops. Sorry, let's undo. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Shift, and it allows us to select everything. Tap, hold Shift, and then tap the greater than symbol a few times. Now I should have everything. I'll pop back over to my top view and rotate that door in. So sometimes when modelers give us these models there, and I'm surprised at how well this is working for me right now. I'm just like cooking with gas over here. Sometimes when modelers give us these models, they're and I just clicked this and I clicked this to bring it back to object mode. Another thing you can do is you can just go to object mode, right click and hold, and go to object mode. But yeah, sometimes when modelers give us stuff, they get real they're just funny, and they'll open doors like that and do stuff that we don't want. Because when we rig stuff, we want stuff straight. to where we add bones and stuff. And one of the things I'm going to do with this demo is I'm going to, I was thinking about these bullets here. When this turret rotates, these bullets are going to need to rotate. And when we skin this, we're going to do this in a way where we're going to break apart these bullets. We're actually going to break apart all the parts of this card that are going to move, and then skin those to a skeleton individually. Well, we'll do at least the bullets here. And then we will attach the skeletons afterwards, so we can lock certain weights in place and do that. So let's go ahead and start with breaking apart the tires, because we know we're going to need to do that. So let's jump over here to the tire. And, ooh, looks like we missed some I don't even know what those things are called. Metal balls here or something. So hold shift. Select all those. Let's jump to our top view. And hopefully, I'm going to tap 4 on my keyboard and rotate. And I think we're going to have a problem here. Of course. How are we going to do this? Let's just go to modify center pivot. Yeah, that doesn't work. Okay. You're going to have to do insert again. This is a good exercise because it helps us learn how to solve problems. So I'm just going to move this pivot point over, oops, kind of near the center of these things. Actually, I should be able to get it in the center of that center ball. That might give us some level of measurement. Put it in the center, tap insert again. Alright, so now let's rotate that. Yep, that actually worked out okay. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm on fire today. Alright, we'll just rotate this straight. And I'm using the vertices on this ball right here to line up with the rotator here. See how they're straight? And then what I'll do is tap W to move and tap the plus symbol. Oh gosh. To make that smaller. And let's just, I don't even know if we need to move that. We just need to, there we go. Let's move that out a little bit. Alright, so this is kind of a cool trick. So I'm going to tap on my spacebar here. And if you hold shift, so if you tap W to move and you hold shift, you can actually move, and middle mouse drag, you can actually move any and all of these at the same time, right? So now let's go over to side view, tap 4, and I'm going to hold shift and move these in again. And I have no idea what I'm doing here, so let's jump back over to, okay, we can do it in here too. So I'll just turn it to the side so it knows to move along this axis, hold shift, and then move them in. Isn't that cool? And then, yeah, I'll just, like that, I'll line up these verts with the side. That looks pretty good. I assume that's how we're going to do it. So now we have to do the other side. Yay. We might just be able to duplicate those over. Let's do that instead. So I'll select these balls, holding shift here. I select the vertices, grow the selection, and backspace. Oh, come on, delete. Oh, I don't think I can do that actually. We have to right click and go into object mode. Oh, you know what? I have to do faces. So shift select faces, grow the selection. Actually, I think with faces, you can just double click them and they highlight, delete, and they're gone. Now let's come over here, double click these, hold shift so you can multi-select. tap W to move. And I'm just going to click insert on my keyboard here to move the mover down closer to that. Insert again. Then I'm going to duplicate. So edit, duplicate, and we'll move those. Does that work? That's not working. Yay. Nope, not working. So I'm just going to undo. Dang. Here's what we'll do. We need to separate out this tire anyway. So I'm going to select all the stuff on this tire. So let's right click and have I broken this? Why can't I select this? What did I do here? I can no longer select the vehicle. Alright, I'm going to, don't know what I did. I'm going to save Maya. Let's put this in, gosh. You know, there's always a way to solve a problem. Oh, man. Let's go to rigging. And we're going to do a new folder here. And we're going to call this Jeep. Save it in here as Jeep. Let's go ahead and close Maya. Alright. Fire up Maya again. Wow, Maya is a beast. Alright. Remind me not to do what I did again. Because yeah, that sent me back over here. Okay. Just going to recent files, Jeep. Don't need to save this. And yay, we're back. I have no idea what I did there. Oh, no live surface. That was on. I'm not sure what that is. But, alright, let's do this. Got some weird stuff going on here. I got some polygons missing from this tire, which is really bizarre. You can fix that, actually. You just right-click on the edge here. Double-click the edge, and it'll select all 4 edges. You go to Mesh, Fill Hole. Boom. Fixed. Do the same thing here. I don't know why that did that. Might have been an import issue. Mesh, Fill Hole. Boom. Alright. Now what we're going to do is select some faces. Right-click and face. Select some faces here. Hold Shift and tap the greater than sign a bunch of times. And now let's go look in here and see what we didn't get. Looks like we got most of the wheel, except for I know we didn't get these guys. Hold Shift, double click them, double click them, double click them, and yeah, same thing. And what we're going to do is extract this tire. So let's go to modeling, mesh, and I think there is a, you know, let me go to my modeling tab, poly modeling. Is that it? Oh, here, extract. what that does is it pulls all that stuff, all the separate pieces. So what we're going to do is, while I have these as separate pieces, tap W to move. Let's just center pivot. And I'm going to Control D for duplicate, and then move those over. And we'll, oh, that's funny. How are those tires not lined up? Oh, glad we saw that. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Interesting. I wonder if the axle, these look lined up. Those tires aren't lined up. So glad we caught that. All right, so that being said, let's go ahead and forget all this. Delete. Let's come in here and just grab these faces. Hold shift and tap the greater than sign a bunch of times. Glad we went through the process of fixing those holes. Tap backspace on your keyboard. Backspace. Alright, so now let's come over here and go to object mode, and we'll, oh, that's not even on the axle. Is the axle straight? God, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, sometimes these modelers, like, what are y'all doing, man? Okay, the axle looks straight. Yeah, wow, man. You couldn't even put the wheel on the thing, man. Alright, so select all these, hold shift, double click, oops, Control Z, double click, double click. Alright, so let's just go ahead and pop this tire off just to make sure we got everything. Yep, we did. Control Z. Alright, so now we're going to go to Mesh Combine. Here we go. So now it's one whole mesh. Now let's make sure that we put this tire on the axle. Look, it's off. Like, come on, y'all. Really? See what I have to deal with? Alright. So I'm just looking for, see how it's like crosshair here. Just looking to match up the, oh my gosh, man. I'm guessing it's going to be in the center of this circle. Let's take a look. Oh, it looks pretty straight. You know what? There's good and there's good enough. Alright, let's keep it moving. And let's just go ahead and Control D to duplicate, or edit duplicate. We're going to pop this over here. And no need to like flip this or do anything crazy. Let's just, oh, well, let's see how far is this axle on this wheel here. We just need to make sure that it's lined up with the tires. Okay. Okay, let's see how these tires line up here. So again, I'm going to put it against the edge of this wall here. It just looks like there's a little gap. So one thing we need to do is tap E, and we need to do a 180 with this. 180. Whoops. And rotate Y, 180. What the heck is going on? Oh, no, number lock on. 180. Enter. All right. So we can see how far this is. There's just about a little space there. So let's move this over. Tap W. And we'll just match that space. Something like that. Something like that. There we go. Good enough. All right, so now we got our tires separate. And what we can do to test those is just tap E on them and rotate them. And they look like they're rotating pretty straight. All right, next up, the other tires. It's been a fun process so far. Oh yeah, we checked to see if those were straight. Let's break those off. You know what? Those aren't actually going to turn, are they? It'll be easier to rig if we break them off, though. And we probably should break this axle off, too. Now that I think about it, but is anybody going to see that? You always want to think about stuff that nobody's going to see. So let's go to edge. No, let's do face. Come on, man. Face. Double click that. Let's see if this axle pops out. And yes, it does. So I'm guessing that axle. So all this stuff's going to rotate, I guess. This thing. Good Lord. All that stuff will rotate. And we'll rotate it just to see. Yep. All right. So let's first and foremost extract. Tap W again, and I'm going to hold Control. Actually, let's go into Object Mode, hold Control, and select the car. So now I have these. So I'm just going to double check. Yep, just have those selected. Mesh and combine. Yay. Okay, cool. So I don't know how these are going to turn. Oh, it's turns. I don't know how these turn. I guess they just turn, and I guess we'll just turn them like this, because they didn't really. That doesn't make sense. But whatever. Okay, let's do the same thing with the back wheels here. So breaking these out into individual objects is going to just make things like 100 times easier when we rig. So let's go to face. Let's go ahead and save our scene. Save. And I saved over my last scene, but it's always good to save in increments. Okay, what are we doing here? I just don't know what they want as part of the wheel here and what they want as part of the axle. Oh, you know what? I think I actually... I guess... Oh, man. Yeah, I guess the axle... I don't even know. Oh, I guess... Does that, like... This is so weird. I don't even know, so I'm just gonna not worry about it. You can always come back and like fix that later. Looks like that axle is actually off a little bit. It's off center. Okay, so we'll just do the same thing. I'll select this. Whoops. Face. Select this. Hold Shift and select the tire. Let's see if we got any of those. Yep, we got some of these things on here. Double click, hold Shift, double click, double click, double click, and double click. Alright, so let's extract. And I'm gonna right click and go to object mode, then hold Control and select the main body. Now it just select everything on the tire. It leaves everything on the tire selected, and then you just go to mesh, combine. Ugh, that's weird. Not sure why. Oh, we got some holes missing. So, are those still part of the body? Yeah, we missed that. Let's undo. Okay. Double click. All right, so these things are apparently, it's always good to drag, when you have everything selected, drag it out so you can see if you miss anything. I didn't do that, but I'm gonna do it this time. Extract, right click, object mode, hold control, select the body. Now everything's selected here on the tire, mesh and combine. All right, let's do the other tire, same process. Come in here, go to face, select everything, hold shift, and tap the greater than symbol. Make sure you get everything here. Let's look around on this tire, see if there's any problems. Tap W to move, and we'll drag it out. And oh yeah, we missed the little thingies. Got them. So we're going to extract, right click, go to object mode, hold, click control. Now we have the whole wheel, mesh, and combine. Okay, let's get the back axle. And we're going to go to face. I'm just holding shift and double clicking stuff. And that was easy. And then extract, right click and hold object mode, control click, mesh, combine. We'll test that. Yay. So now we have all of these items here separated. That looks pretty good. Getting there. All right, let's save this. Save scene as. And it's going to be on my computer, data, rigging, Jeep. And this time I'm going to call this Jeep 2, hit enter. Cool. So we got the body of the Jeep. So let's look up in here and see if there's anything crazy. I don't know what I'm going to do with those shocks. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with those shocks. I don't think I'm going to do anything with those, to be honest with you. At least right now. Not a whole lot's going to move on here. We could probably do some stuff with the steering wheel. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm just holding shift and double clicking stuff. Let's move this around. Oh gosh. What did we miss here? Man, there's so much in Maya now that I just don't know. What is that walk tool that I just activated? Why is that little thingy? Hold shift. There we go. Got the whole steering wheel, so let's break it apart. Right click, object mode, hold control, click that, mesh, and combine. There we go. Now the steering wheel is it's its own piece there. We're gonna put a bone in it, and it's gonna rotate on its own. All right. Now let's go to the turret. Oh, this is gonna be fun. All right, so we're gonna start with the bullets. Bullets need to be separate. Looking at this turret, it really doesn't do a whole lot other than rotate. Oh, well, this chain gun thing probably rotates. Yeah, we'll make that rotate. Let's see. Gosh, we'll just make that whole piece rotate. Okay, cool. So let's come in here. All right, time to click these bullets. So let's go to face. Oh boy. So we want to select the bullets that are actually going to flex. So I'm going to look down in here, probably starting here. And I'll just hold shift and double click these. Come on, guys. Work with me here. And this is a process, but tap F to frame. It just is what it is. I mean, this modeler went totally ham on the amount of bullets, but I guess it's like real life. This is rigging, man. It's just sort of... Sometimes there might be a quicker way to do this, but sometimes it's just faster just to do it the way that you know it's going to get done, rather than trying to like be slick. Trust me, I've tried to be slick before. There we go. Those will flex. So we didn't get the ones inside the chamber. We just got the ones just kind of sticking out. All right. So same process. Extract. Right click and hold object mode, control click, and mesh combine. Same process. Easy peasy. All right. Now let's get these chamber or the barrel here. I'm just going to go to face, and drag, and select all this good stuff. And I can't even, there's so much going on here, I can't even see. So let's move this up. What do we got? Sometimes there's so much stuff here, Maya needs to kind of catch up. I hope this doesn't freeze my computer. Okay, so we just got the barrel. So let's come in here. So I'm going to hold Control and Shift and select this stuff, and then hold Shift and then tap the greater than symbol, which did kind of what I want. It got that piece. I wonder how much this is actually going to rotate. I feel like we have to kind of go all the way in there, unfortunately. So we'll need this piece, and then we will need these pieces. Oh my goodness. Oh, I got those pieces. Oh yeah, moving in wireframe is going to be considerably more, maybe not. Oh, this is going to be fun when we break it apart. Alright, got everything in there. Control Z. Alright. So let's do the detach process. That was quick. That's quick. Alright. And right click, object mode, control, click, and mesh combine. Alright, now we have a barrel that rotates. Right? This guy can turn. Oh, we need to separate out the turret. Alright, let's take a look at how this thing moves. Look like this thing's bolted to the floor. Oh, there we go. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is going to be fun. Oh boy. Okay. You know what I'm going to do for this? I'm just going to right click and go to face and select all this stuff. So then I'm going to, because there's a lot of stuff. So then I'm going to come in here. Oh, I didn't have to get all that net. Let's do nothing but net. How about that? So I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to select this stuff. Hold control. Don't need bolts. I'm just holding control and I can deselect some stuff. Don't need that stuff. Don't need that stuff. These rings here we won't need. Those aren't going to turn. That won't turn. Let's take a look here. The ammo boxes, one of them is connected to the thing that turns. That's going to be funny. I know that's actually how we want it. This ammo box looks like it's locked in place. So let's deselect this ammo box. Let's make sure we get all the pieces of that deselected. And don't need this. Don't need any of this stuff. There we go. So I think we got, for the most part, everything we need here. Let's take a look. I'm going to move this up. It's like move it up and then hurry up and wait. Let's try rotating. Did we miss anything? Yeah, yes. The top of that hole there. All right, what's the problem? So let's go in here. Aha! The top of the cylinder of that pole. And there's a lot of stuff going on in here now, so it's sort of like, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? Let's see if we can be slick. All right. Sometimes you just gotta be slick. Let's zoom on in here. And let's look around. I feel like I'm doing like surgery. If you hold right click, you can zoom in there. This is just... trying to think about what the heck. I need to get the top of this barrel in here. It's just, I just think we might need to go about this a different way, unfortunately. Alright, let's do, man, that was kind of a good deal. Alright, let's try this a different way. So let's select these parts, hold shift, see what we can get there. Okay, so that's good. Now let's do this, hold shift. Okay, we're making progress here. Oh, and you hold Control Z, Control and Shift. All right, so now let's go in here and start getting stuff individually. We need this, need this, need this, need this, need this. All right, what am I missing still? More balls, lots of balls. Good Lord. And I think this thing spins. What else am I missing? Looks like some stuff in here. What else? Looks like some sort of... that thing. Ammo box. How is ammo box connected? Or is it just, it's not, it's just sitting there. Okay. I think we got everything, and that was brutal, but sometimes you got to do it that way. Now, let's double check that. Move that up. Then hurry up and wait. And it looks like it. Looks like the whole bit of that turret. Control Z. All right. Let's go to 5, extract, same process, right click and object mode. Then hold control, click off the turret, mesh, and combine. So now this moves as an object. Oops. And that will rotate. Cool. All right, so we got cannon here. Ammo box is going to be its own deal. Wheels and this. I'm trying to think if there's anything else here we really need to move. We could probably go crazy if we wanted to, but I just don't think we need to go crazy. I think we've gone crazy enough so far. And my battery's dying on my laptop, so I gotta plug it in. Be right back. Okay. So we got a lot done there, so let's go ahead and save. I'll just go ahead and save scene as. Call this Jeep 3 and save. And let's go ahead and start to build the bones out for this stuff. Because I know this is going to be a thing. Alright, so let's go to our rigging tab. And we'll go to rigging. And then double click the joint tool. And variable bone radius settings is unchecked. You want to make sure that's the case. And then let's go ahead and zoom on over to our bullets. And we just want to create a joints here so these bullets flex. And if you hit V, it will snap to one of the bullets. And I'm just going to click on the bullet here. So they start on this one. So I'm just going to scale this joint. Actually, display, animation, joint size. And I didn't really check the size of this truck. Which I probably should have done because it actually is looking like this thing's tiny. Which is not good, but we're here now, so. You always want to check the scale of the models when you download them from online because it's like, oh gosh. Now, I'm already like, whenever I have this many objects, I'm looking for something I can like snap this to so it'll be consistent. And there's no crosshairs on the back of this bullet, but what there is a tip to the bullet. Okay, and what I can do is I can snap this joint to each one of the tips of that bullet, and it's in a consistent place. All right, now still those joints are a little big, so display, animation, joint size, and let's set that to 0.5. Oh, how about 0.05? That's actually all right. Let's leave it there. That's just good enough. There's good and there's good enough. All right, so we don't need a joint for every single one of these things. What we need is one joint there, and just delete that. right, let's call this bullet. Bullet 2, bullet. Okay. And then we're going to duplicate this joint, and we're going to move it on up over to the other. Actually, you know what? Let's not do that. We just need to kind of follow the curve here. So what we can do is like every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Snap it to the tip. Yeah, you guys are going to love this. Control D to duplicate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is fun. Control D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So whenever you're rigging, you always want to kind of establish like a process. Control D to duplicate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you just want to kind of like establish your own processes here. Control D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Look at that. Almost halfway. You always have to keep yourself motivated too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Control D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Control D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Control D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going here, almost there. Control D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Control D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Getting there. Control D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now since this has a curve, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you kind of always want to make sure that you at least get one at the tip of the curve here. And the last bullet is down here. So what I'm going to do is move this down to the last bullet. Actually, how many is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's just split them. Let's do 1, 2, 3. It's like 3, 3.5. So we'll do that and duplicate, and we'll get the last one, which is there. Oops. So that's the latest number, which is 15, and this one was 14, which is why I split them like that. So here, let's just do, this is a nice little bullet right here. Cool. Now we have bullets that line the gun. So let's go ahead and parent these in. Now, did I just do something crazy? I think I just did something crazy that we just wasted a ton of time. Let me think. Okay, I don't know. So while I'm thinking on that, we're going to move over to the tires because these are easy and I don't have to think about these. So let's create another joint here. Did I already create one or what? Oh, there we go. All right. Let's go ahead and move this joint to the center of this wheel. And it looks like we can V-snap that right to the center, which is what we want. Right to the center. Yes, sir. All right, we got that. And we need that to be in the center of the wheel. Let's go into our top view, hit the space bar there. And move that to the exact center. Now this is going to be left front tire, so I'm going to say LF tire. Control D for duplicate, and we'll move it on over here. Man, I really hope I'm getting the center of these right. That would be bad. I think it's this. Looks like it. And we just moved that wheel over, so double check something real quick. Okay. Looks like this one's off. I don't know how it's off, but it's off. So what we're going to do is tap F to zoom in. And we're just going to move this over here. And I'm going to V-snap this to that point. Tap my space bar and then move it over. Who knows why that was off? That shouldn't have been off, but you know what? That is what it is. Okay. Now, same for this axle. I'm going to duplicate this joint, Control D. And then I'm going to call this axle. Actually, let's rename this one. This is not LF tire 1. This is R front tire. And this is F axle. And we're just going to move this to the center of the grid. Whoops. And if you hold X, it will snap to the center of the grid there. And now we just need to make sure that that axle is indeed at the center. Actually, you know what? We'll click the object, hit Control A, and if you come over to pivots and click Display Rotate Pivot, you should be able to see the rotate pivot, which is this green thing right there. It's a little green thing in the center, and you can V-snap to the rotate pivot. Whoops. See right there? It's a little green thing, and you can V-snap directly to it, and that will be perfectly in the center, and we should have done that with the wheels. So let's do that. Click on the wheels, display, rotate, pivot. I don't know what I was thinking. And there it is, V-snap to it. I don't know what I was thinking. Click on the wheel, display, rotate, pivot. Now one thing you want to make sure is that that's actually centered. Well, it is centered because we rotated the wheels and it looked fine. Alright, V-snap that to the rotate pivot. Okay, cool. Alright, front wheel's done. Well, done-ish. So what we can do is we'll grab that tire, grab that tire, shift select the main axle, and tap P. So if you look, it's actually, both tires are attached to the main axle there. Alright, now let's do the back tires. So I'm going to click on the back tire, display, rotate, pivot, click on back axle, display, rotate, pivot, click on the other tire, display, rotate, pivot. Now let's create another joint. We'll just put it right there for the time being, and we will call this, I'm going to hit Control A. We're going to call this back left tire. And we're going to do the same thing. Let's come over here, and we're going to, actually, we're not going to do the same thing. We're going to be better. We're going to, see a little rotate pivot right there? We're going to V-snap it to the rotate pivot. That's right. Then I'm going to duplicate this, move it on over in the center, and then I'm going to call this is not BL tire 1, this is back right tire 1. Did I name this one right? Let's check. Right front tire, left front tire. Okay, and these are back right tire and back left tire. Okay, well, it did a little bit different. Whatever. Got it. All right, now let's snap that to the rotate pivot, which is right there. And then duplicate this, and we'll call this back axle. There's the rotate pivot right there, and we will V-snap that to the rotate pivot. Hold Shift, select both joints, then select the third joint in the center, then tap P. So now we have the axle created. I don't know why these back wheels would turn. Maybe if it was four-wheel drive. I would assume it's a Jeep. It is four-wheel drive, so we will just go with that. Now let's create another joint, and we'll just stick it at the center of the grid. If you hold X, it will snap at the center of the grid. We'll call this main. And let's go ahead and duplicate main and move it up. And I'm looking for something to snap it to, which is there's nothing. So I'm just going to move it up in space. We'll just move it up into kind of the center of the Jeep, about yay or so, and we'll call this body. And I'll select that body, then select main and hit P. Then I'm going to select the axles, and then shift select body and tap P. As you can see, and I'm just going to display animation, joint size. I'm just going to grow these a little bit so we can see them. There sure is a lot of polygons going on there. But as you can start to see it a little bit more now from a visual standpoint. Alright, now I know we are going to need something for the turret. So this is going to be, actually, that's going to be barrel. Then we need one for the turret. Yep, turret. And what else we got going on over here? We got just the barrel and the turret, I believe. And we do have the bullets. And now that I think about it, we do not need all these bullets. I'm tripping. Let's go to, sorry I made you do that. Yay. Oh well, maybe you learned something. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you just wasted a bunch of time, like me. Alright. Let's go through here. So what we want to do is I'm going to delete all of these. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking doing something like crazy, you know, I don't know, some sort of physics. I don't know what I was thinking, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to have two. One for the front and one for the end. And are we going to parent these together? Yeah, we are. We're going to parent this one to this one. And actually, I'm going to call this bullet. And this, instead of bullet 15, it's just going to be bullet 1. Shift select. So we're going to parent those together. Okay. And now I'm going to click on the bullets, and I'm going to go see all this history here. Edit, delete by type history, modify freeze transformations. And I'm going to select the bone, select the bullet, skin, and bind skin. So now, if we move this piece, oh gosh, that did not, those should evenly stretch between. Why did that do that? These bullets are going to cause us problems. I know it. I'm going to have to do some research on how to make that happen. Okay. For the most part, let's just, let's go back here. Let's just leave that as is for now. We'll come back to the bullets. Those are going to be a challenge. This is what's cool about rigging, is there's always something you're like, oh man, what am I going to do with this? We'll figure something cool out though. Alright, so let's tap 4. Now I know there's something we can snap this to. Let's see if there's like a main. It looks like it. Something right in the center there. I don't know what that is. But let's go ahead and keep that there, because what's cool about that is if you're using this for a game, that could be a cool point for somebody, a programmer, to attach a particle system to that would actually fire. Actually, in this case, you might want to have particle systems on all 4 of those, but maybe not. Maybe just, maybe not. All right, now this turret needs to be in the center of the turret here. So this can be right there. I don't know what's there, but that looked like it snapped pretty centrical. Centrical, is that a word? This is going to be real easy to do. So barrel will be, barrel, hold shift, select the other one. And you know what? We might have a problem. We might need to, we might have a problem here. Let me think. No, because this is still going to rotate. But if I parent it to this, so that goes to there, and then this goes to here, and this will still rotate as I want it. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I parented it to the wrong thing. There we go. All right. Got a turret in there. It's parented to the tap P for parent. Parented in, okay. And that turret will be parented to the body. So far we've got this kind of thing looking. T to get rid of the aimer. And we need to, let's go ahead and move on the steering wheel. So create another joint here and call it steer. Tap W and let's go over here. And let's find us a point. Looks like there's one right there. Now, this is gonna have to do this. So let's do 45 degrees, which doesn't look like that was rotated 45 degrees, but man, it's close. So That's a problem. I wonder. That looks off. That looks nice and off. Let's just make sure it's not off. Looks pretty good. You know what? There's good and there's good enough. That looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. All right, let's leave that there. And then we'll parent this to that. It actually looks like this might be at 40 degrees. Yeah. Cool. That works. That'll steer. And then what else do we got going on here? I think that's it. Oh, the infamous bullets here. Whatever we're gonna do with those. So the cool thing is, I want to do the bullets last. So what we're gonna do is select our main stuff here. Shift select the Jeep. And all of these parts. So whatever we figure out to do with the bullets, we're going to do it last. So I just have the Jeep selected. We're also going to need the barrel and the gun here. And then before we skin this, let's save. File, save, scene as. And Jeep 4. All right. And select again that stuff. And don't forget the steering wheel. Everything but the bullets. And then make sure you have the skeleton shift selected, skin, and bind skin. Cool. Alright, so now I know this is going to be jacked up. So if you grab like a tire, it's going to be jacked up, right? So we need to fix that. So let's grab the Jeep for the most part. And then we're going, all this is flood. Easy peasy, because that's why we went and separated all this stuff out. Double click the tab 5 to show the paint skin weights. As you can see, they're off. I select the main body here. Let's find main body and flood. Oh, the value was 0. Let's make sure that that's 1. Boom. Tire. Double click. Let's find the front. Left front tire, flood. Back left tire and flood. Let's find the other one. And this is going to be there. And see, as you cycle through these, you can see the bone highlights blue, flood. Flood. Did I get all of these? Alright, so now we need to do the axles. And this is going to be back axle, flood. Did it on its own? Look at that. Sometimes Maya impresses me. This is going to be front axle, flood. Alright, now let's give it a test. Actually, let's do the other stuff. So we'll do the barrel. Actually, that is turret, flood. And then we'll do barrel, a flood. I don't think we have anything else, do we? Steering wheel. Aha. So the steering wheel, steer, and flood. Now let's test. All right. So we have barrel here, or turret which rotates, and we can actually lock the rotate on this from banging into whatever we need to bang into. And to be honest with you, I just don't know, because this looks like it's bolted all on here. I don't know. It doesn't. I don't feel like that. That stuff would. You'd see. You'd think you would want full range of motion on this turret, but we're in here already, so can I do that? And then the barrel here rotates how we want it. Back axle rotates the tires. Tire. Front axle. Front axle. Good to go. Jeep. And steer. And lo and behold, steering wheel is crooked. Yay. You know what though? We might be able to fix that with rigging. With something else. You know what? That was my bad on that one. Actually, you know what we can do? Let's go to I bet you there's a point down in here. Let's go to skin. Where is it? Skin, move skin joints tool. What we're going to do is move that on down to the center. Hold V. I don't even know if we can V snap this joint. As you can see, there's a hole right there. Or not a hole, but I think we're doomed. Yeah, we're doomed. I can't V snap that to anything. And I broke the Jeep. No, I didn't. Alright, you know what? It's good enough. Alright, so we've got this thing rigged. Oh, we need to do the bullets. So you know what we're going to do? This thing's pretty much fully rigged, ready for controls. I'm going to do a little research on how to fix these bullets, and we will start this next time.